What do you think of when you think of great vampire movies? The original Nosferatu or its remake? Yeah, both fantastic films. The first one setting up the basis of what horror movie imagery would be for the next century, and the latter serving as a fantastically twisted update of this classic film. The 1931 Dracula starring Bela Lugosi? Yeah, also fantastic. Pretty much solidified the idea of the modern vampire film, but also not as good as its Spanish language version that was made at the same time and released in the same year. You probably might also think about the Hammer Dracula films, which just scream masterclass gothic horror and old school suspense. But what if you're more into contemporary films? You might think of 30 Days of Night, which updates the image of the vampire to fit into a more brutal and overtly violent depiction, which fits more in line with our chaotic time period that we live in. All of those are fantastic choices, and it felt great using the time to just gush about some of my favourite vampire films. But my absolute favourite vampire piece of media that I can pretty much guarantee that almost no one watching this will have remembered or even know about is episode 2 of season 1 of a barely remembered British horror anthology show called Urban Gothic. Urban Gothic is a great little series in concept. Gives some British TV directors and writers some airtime to test out their horror capabilities in the confines of a strict time limit, but also with the liberating idea that they can make pretty much anything they like, as long as they can fit it into a tight budget. However, for the most part, this show is trash. Absolute hot steaming garbage, with the exception of a few episodes, like the extremely sharp-witted Pineapple Chunks, or the hilariously gruesome Necromance, and what I think is one of the greatest portrayals of the vampire mythos ever, Vampirology. This episode stars Keith Lee Castle, who after appearing in this, would go on to portray the most famous vampire of all, Dracula, in the CBBC show Young Dracula. I wonder if anyone remembers that show. The episode is framed as a non-linear documentary, the context being that a film crew has found a real-life vampire and they are spending a night following this vampire around, asking him as many questions as they can as they document and detail his daily routine, or nightly routine I should say. What makes me think of this as one of the best vampire movies I've ever seen is how the modern vampire Rex is portrayed. He is someone who knows that he is a monster, someone who must kill in order to survive, and who on the surface loves being a vampire, but deep down actually loathes himself, the boredom that comes with being what he is and living for so long, and the world around him for being so ignorant to his suffering. It's a fascinating portrayal of a man who wishes for nothing other than peace, but is driven to keep killing, and therefore surviving, by pure instinct. The way the episode is structured also lends to its success as a glimpse into an existential nightmare. It's short, only about 20 minutes long, but manages to deliver so much by giving us only one real character to focus on. And through the documentary style, we really get the feeling that we are intruding in on this vampire's life and getting a true feeling for who and what he is. The non-linearity only helps to reinforce the nightmare that this man is living, as we get beautiful contrasts in scenes between the self-indulgent joy that Rex pretends to have, contrasted heavily with glimpses at his real feelings. A particularly effective moment of this is the ending of the episode. Everything is delivered absolutely perfectly. Check it out if you can. It's genuinely one of the best pieces of vampire-related media I've ever seen.
I mean, how'd you become a vampire?
That's the funniest thing. I can't remember.
Hey, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look at a really not very well remembered or well regarded episode of the TV show from the early 2000s. Honestly, yeah, the show's pretty bad, but this episode and a few others are absolutely great. So, yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We make videos kind of like this every Friday. Thanks for watching.